in the hospital, y'all, finna give birth to his child, and he over here questioning me, talking about, is this really his baby? Like, what are you talking about? Do you really think I'm sitting here have you up here at the hospital and everything with me just for nothing? Are you serious right now? What kind of baby dad does that right when we finna have this baby? Like, are you serious? You really gonna sit here and question baby talking about, oh, can you get DNA test? No, you're not getting no DNA test after this. I'm not doing that. This is your child. If you don't believe it's your child, then you could go ahead and go. I don't need you up here. Because all you're doing is stressing me out.
We're finna find out.
Yeah, we are finna find out. And that's so weird for you to even be saying that, though. Why would you even say that?
We finna find out.
You don't never want to claim your kids. Why you never claiming your kids?
We're finna find out.
Like, I don't be doing none of that cheating stuff or none of that. What are you doing? Bro, like, I'm sick of that. And you know what? I'm not even gonna say nothing, bro, because I'm not getting no DNA test. So if he don't think it's his child, he just won't have a child. We don't really need you over here. He in here stressing me out. Like, look at me. I look a mess right now. And you over here doing all this extra stuff, stressing me out right now. Talking about you want DNA test. Okay. You gonna get your DNA test. You can really go ahead and go.
Nah.
That is correct. I have no problem with being on child support, putting myself. I'm actually the one that opened this case up against myself. I have no problem with raising it. I would just like to be for sure that it's mine.
Not be sure. And what reason do you have to doubt that it's yours?
Because after the child was born, I just had my doubts, and I went ahead and ordered a home DNA test, and I DNA tested the child, and the results came back that I was 0% the father.
Oh, okay. And did you let Mrs. Velez know about that?
Absolutely. And she insisted that my DNA test was fake at first, so I persuaded her to give me another one to prove me wrong, and she denied every time.
Liars be
Okay.
lying.
All right. All right.
So,
Okay,
Look
I
at her
understand.
smile.
So I understand. Ms. Velez, do you understand that he's asking to contest the acknowledgement and request of testing? What is your position, ma'am?
If that's what he wants, I'm up for it. But I was not aware when he did that DNA or what he did to my child. So, yes.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, I know, man. What happens? That happens sometimes, and they go to Walmart or HEB and get some over-the-counter test, and they do it without the mama, which they really don't need the mama, but we do require it in our testing. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and put on the record that he is contesting the acknowledgement. That doesn't mean that he's not the father. Legally, he's recognized as the father because of the form, but he is contesting it. So paternity testing will be ordered. The state will make arrangements to have you tested, ma'am, on the child, and also, sir, to have you tested. Okay?
greatly appreciate it, sir. Thank
No
you so
problem,
much.
sir. Yes, sir. It will take.
There's a number floating around that gets quoted a lot. 30% of men are not the father. That's actually misleading. That 30% comes from the men who already suspected something and went to get tested. The real population rate is closer to 1 in 25, about 4%. Sounds lower until you do the math. That's potentially 280,000 to 410,000 children born every year in the US alone to men who think they're the father but aren't. That's not a rounding error. That's a mid-sized city of deceived men every single year.
My boyfriend got a paternity test on our daughter and it came back negative, but I never cheated. I still don't know how it happened. I have never cheated on my boyfriend. I absolutely love my boyfriend. We've been together for about 5 years. I've only ever slept with 2 other people, but they were both before I met him. There is no other potential father for our daughter 100%. We were trying for a baby for like a year, and fortunately our daughter has just turned 1. So that's why it's weirder, because after all this time of our daughter being born, he decided to take a paternity test. It came back that he wasn't the father, and that is impossible. I didn't even know you could get these wrong, like these tests wrong, but this has to be. And ever since it came back negative, obviously our relationship has just been destroyed because he clearly thinks that I've cheated on him. But I just feel like this is so unfair because I know the truth. This is his daughter. He's been acting extremely cold and distant ever since he found out. One of the things that has been hurting me too is the fact that he's not only been acting different with me, but also with our daughter. This morning, he finally decided to break the silent treatment that he's been giving me. And he said that he took the paternity test because he thought that it was weird because him and I, we both have brown eyes and our daughter has very bright blue eyes. He said that it was very weird and he decided to take it, and that's how he found out. And then he said he wanted me to leave the house with our daughter, and that's what broke my heart. But honestly, I can't even be mad at him because I understand his position, but what I'm desperate for right now is to prove that I'm innocent. I just want to save my family, and I don't know what happened and what I can do to fix it.
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid. I don't think that, it's something that if you feel like you need a DNA test, go do that on your own time because you feel that way. I don't think every person, there's millions of people in the United States. Like, it doesn't make sense that people could be using that time to do other things. Like, you could be saving a life. You could be in a hospital saving a life.
I personally pay taxes, and I care about where my money goes. I'm not here to pay for so-and-so because there's a confusion about who's the father. That's not my business. Handle your personal shit. And for me, I want to fund schools. I want to fund the MTA because the trains are never on time. We got bigger problems. We have bigger problems. I'm sorry. I'm not paying for no mandatory test.
Nah, the bigger issue is making sure the child knows who their father is. There's a lot of men raising children that isn't theirs because they believe their woman was faithful. And they have an issue with this, then child support shouldn't be determined until paternity test is done. And a man shouldn't be named the father by default and put on child support.
Here's the reaction that tells you everything. If you trusted me, you wouldn't need a test. Think about that sentence for a second. In every other area of life, contracts, business, real estate, verification isn't an insult, it's standard procedure. You sign a lease, they run a credit check. You buy a car, they verify the title. Nobody says if you trusted the seller you wouldn't need an inspection. But ask to verify the most consequential biological question of your life, and suddenly you're a monster.
Do you think that fraud should be illegal?
Absolutely.
Okay. So why is it not illegal for women to fraud men on paternity? If a man does not find out he's the father over the age of 2, he is on the hook for child support for 18 years.
I don't know what the law is when it comes to that, but it's wrong. If you're lying about paternity, that is wrong, and there should be legal consequences for that.
Why haven't feminists fought?
It's that simple.
Then why aren't feminists fighting for it, Anna?
Because feminists fight for women, obviously.
Right. That's my point.
Yeah.
At the expense of men.
My publication was entitled to an attorney ad litem, and the court did appoint Ms. Fay. Ms. Fay, are you? That's correct. Yes, you're here by video through them, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Here, present and ready, and I have reviewed that information as well.
All right. So usually what we do is it's Ms. Laxton's petition. We usually start with her. Ms. Laxton, do you want to go ahead or do you want to let Ms. Fay start?
Let Ms. Fay start so that she can get to her other stuff.
Okay. Fay, is there anything you'd like to present to the court?
No presentation of evidence, Your Honor. I would just state for the court that I have reviewed all of the documents in this case. We also have done a diligent search to see if we can find the whereabouts of my client. We've been unable to, we've looked through all of our programs that search for them. We've been unable to find any contact information. And so I do believe that diligent efforts were made to contact him by our office, but we were unable to do so.
All right. So you don't feel that it is inappropriate to go ahead and do this default hearing?
I don't, not at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. If you'd like to mute and pay attention to your other one, I have no objections to that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Laxton?
Yes, the state would like to call Ms. Sandridge as its first witness.
Ms. Sandridge, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Go ahead, Ms. Laxton.
Okay. Would you please state your full name for the record?
Harley Darlene Sandridge.
And are you the mother of Penelope Blake Sandridge?
I am.
And who is Penelope's father?
Jeffrey Allen Davis.
And when did your relationship with Mr. Davis begin?
I'd say the beginning of April 2022.
Okay. The beginning of April of 2022?
Yeah, I'd say like the first week or two of April.
Okay. And when did it end?
The very end of March of 2022. Wait, hold on. April, May, June. That's wrong. Hold on. January, February, April. Okay. I can't get on my phone to check the dates for this, so I would hang up.
I need the dates.
Okay.
I have them in text message, but I can't exit this because I'm online.
So your relationship was in early of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And in early 2022, were you in a sexual relationship with someone other than Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am. A white man named Colin.
Okay. And what makes you think that the white man is not the father of the child?
The child is Mexican.
And is Mr. Jeffrey Davis
And
Mexican?
I've already, yes, ma'am, he is. And I've already gotten in contact with the other party when I was still pregnant. I mean, his whole family, me, we all had a whole shindig about it. He came to the hospital. We discussed that that was not his baby. There was no way. And for the last 2 years, I've went and took Penelope to Midland and did a DNA test and everything. Those were the only two people.
Okay. Do you have pictures of Penelope?
Yes.
Do you have them on your phone?
I do.
So do you have a picture of Penelope that you can show the judge?
Yes. How do I do that?
You should be able to screen share.
Okay, let's see. I'm on an Android, so I don't know if it's the same or not, but let's find out. Let's see. It says... I don't know how to do that. Hold on one second. It just says quick share contacts only. Hold on. Airplane mode, power saving.
China's hospitals reported a 20% increase in paternity tests from suspicious husbands. Nigeria's Smart DNA lab published their 2024 report. 27% of tests came back negative, more than 1 in 4. And 86% of those tests were requested for peace of mind, not legal cases. Men aren't testing because they're paranoid. They're testing because they've watched too many other men find out too late.
I think it's funny how a lot of women will say that men lie and men are pieces of shit, but why is it that 26.9% of all women have lied about paternity? Meaning they've actually pinned a child on a father that isn't theirs. And most of them have admitted doing this because they pick the more suitable father out of the men that they've been cheating with. Additionally, another study was done in the UK that 1 in 10 women don't know who the biological father is and they just take a guess. These men actually grow bonds with their children and raise them and fall in love with them, and then they ultimately find out that the child is not theirs. How sick do you have to be to do that to a man, but also to do that to your own child? It's absolutely diabolical. And the worst part about it is there's little to no consequences to the women that do this. In fact, they might get a slap on the wrist or have to pay a fine, and that's only if the father wants to sue, and most of the men don't go after her or don't do anything because they don't have the financial means to fight it in court. I mean, do what you will with this information. Okay, bye.
So my uncle took a paternity test for his daughter, and it turns out he's not the father. My aunt swore she never cheated, but she couldn't convince my uncle of that, so she took a paternity test herself. And it turns out she's not the mom either. They decided that they were going to sue the hospital, but the crazy part is they found their biological daughter. They found her in foster care because apparently the people that were raising her weren't good people. And as crazy as it sounds, now they have to adopt their biological daughter. Of course, they're still going to take care of the first one. But this morning, my uncle settled on the lawsuit that he filed, and he got $2 million. Honestly, I think he could have got more, but his lawyer is his ex-girlfriend. My head hurts.
The DNA testing industry has seen a 55% increase over the last decade in the U.S. alone. Home kits cost $30. Lab-confirmed legal tests run about $300 to $500. That's cheaper than a single month of child support for a kid that isn't yours. The math isn't complicated, it's just uncomfortable. And the discomfort is the whole reason men are doing it anyway.
My 29 female husband, 31 male, got a paternity test on our daughter, 5 female, and it came back negative. But I never cheated. Now he thinks our relationship is a lie and wants to divorce. What do I do?
Mm.
Why do you look like that?
Because this is the one I got too.
Oh! I can't believe we found the same one.
Oh my God, this must be a good one.
Did you read the update?
No. Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're in for a treat. Okay. You already read the title, so we'll go into that.
Yeah, just get to the juicy details.
Get to the juice. Okay. I don't know how it happened, and I haven't been able to stop crying all day. I never cheated. I love my husband, and we've been together since college, and he's the love of my life. He's handsome and kind, and while I've slept with 2 other people, both were before we got together. There is no other potential father for our daughter. We were married already and actively trying for a baby. I never cheated. I would never cheat, and I don't know why he took that stupid test because I would never, ever cheat. But it came back negative, and now he thinks he's not her dad. I don't know how to convince him it was a faulty test, and I'm so scared.
Is that this? That's the
There's
story.
an edit. So that, do you want me to go ahead and read the edit?
I forget what it says.
Okay. Edit. The specific advice I want is how I can prove I'm innocent and how to make sure this relationship works. I want to keep my family together at all costs. Another edit. Also, I just had a conversation with my husband. He's out of his room now, and we discussed some things. I told him again that I would never cheat, and I started talking about a list I made of tests I want done, but he told me that he didn't want to hear it right now. We're going to have a longer conversation tomorrow, and he said that he still loves our daughter, and he won't try to keep me out of the house or our room for now. For now. I asked him to hug me, and he did, and I'm scared I won't be able to convince him. I just want our family to go back to normal. How can I be a good wife and support his needs while proving my innocence?
There's a push from fathers' rights groups for mandatory paternity testing at birth. Not optional, standard. Like the hearing test, like the blood type. Just one more data point on the birth certificate that nobody has to ask for and nobody has to feel insulted by. The resistance to that idea tells you more about who benefits from uncertainty than any argument could. If the test always confirms paternity, nobody has anything to fear from making it routine.
This woman is a prime example of why DNA testing should be mandatory at birth. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. I got a banger from the Modern King. Let's get straight into it.
It really be your own people, dude. My 16-year-old just found out that his dad isn't his real dad anymore because of my ass sister. She claims it's for his own good. But in what way is that for his own good?
Wait. So the truth isn't for their own good? Since when did truth become bad? There's a lot to unpack here. So your sister snitched on you and told your son that the so-called dad, I guess, stand-in dad right now isn't his real dad. So the stepdad, I guess. And she's the bad guy? What? You're the bad guy. You're a liar, dude. What are you talking about?
You're a liar! When I found out I was pregnant with my son, I made the logical choice to pick the father that made the most money.
Oh my, wow. I made the logical choice to pick the guy that made the most money.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
How many men are you out there bucking? Many men. How many men have been in there? How many men have parked their car in your garage? Huh? How many guys we got shooting for that spot of Faja? Huh? How many men? How many? What's the number? You know? Que numero? I don't know how many languages I can speak it in.
Real dad was working at McDonald's for like $8.25 an hour. I don't want that as a man.
So you don't want the that's working at McDonald's as a man, but you willing work. You willing to give him the most critical part of your body. And not only did you him, you him raw.
He was just one of my...
One of your...
Wait. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Women cannot have hoes. It's not a thing, bro. Women can only have mileage. Men can have hoes. Women cannot. And that is not a thing.
Sorry, I'm not following. You're the one getting cracked by multiple but they're one of your hoes. The logic in these women sometimes, I really don't get it.
And that was that. And I got pregnant, and so I picked the richer dad. And although the richer dad didn't take care of him and hasn't been around, he does pay child support, and he pays a lot, and it pays for a majority of my rent.
This is exactly why DNA tests should be mandatory at birth. That man paying so much child support is covering her rent. That's what's really bothering her. It's not the fact that her and her son have a strange relationship now. It's the fact that her rent is not going to be paid, and I could tell she probably ain't got no job.
Well, my sister never liked that, and I finally let her have my son thinking I could trust him. And she tells my son and confides in him that his dad isn't his real dad, and now he went and found his real dad behind my back with my sister, and they are all trying to fight and get my son taken away.
Bro, I love how everybody else is the bad guy. Everybody else is the bad guy. It's not her. It's not the fact that she lied to her own son and she said, hey, this isn't your real dad. Like, the fact, like, I don't understand this. As a man, it's just not something that flows through our blood and our veins of just playing victim all the time. Maybe it is. Maybe it is a thing. I don't know. But for me, if the truth hurts sometimes, does it suck to hear? Yeah, dude. I have a mentor that he shoots it to me straight and says what I'm doing wrong. I don't take it personally. That's why I always say women take constructive criticism personally, where men take it and apply it to the certain area we're talking about. Like if, let's say I was a car washer or a car detailer and somebody was giving me some constructive criticism, I wouldn't take it personally. I would say, oh, this pertains to the exact job that I'm doing. Oh, you're not wiping the seats correctly, or you're not getting the windows correctly, or something like that. But women would be like, you think I'm a bad person? You think I don't work hard? You think I'm a piece of... I feel like a lot of women would take it that way, whereas men, we don't take it that way. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree.
Verification isn't distrust, it's due diligence. You wouldn't sign a 6-figure contract without reading the terms. A child is a lifetime commitment worth more than any contract you'll ever sign. Knowing the truth isn't an insult to anyone. It's the bare minimum a man owes himself before he signs his name on a life.
Subscribe to Alpha Reloaded for more. Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit that like button on your way out. See you next time.